Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good morning everybody. Here in this exercise I would like to talk about the power of a product. And exercise 73 is again where you need to simplify. But first of all, we need to look what does it mean, power of a product. Now, if we're gonna look at the first one, exercise A, you need to do 3a squared times inside the bracket minus 2a to the power of 3. Now, let me just look at the first part. What does it mean? You need to multiply the 3a with himself. So 3a times 3a. Now, 3 times 3 is 9, and a times a is a squared. Yeah. So if you have a power outside your bracket, you need to do your 3 squared and even your a squared. Let me just do exactly the same at the other side. Minus 2a to the power of 3. You need to do the minus 2 to the power of 3 and even the a to the power of 3. Now, what is minus 2 to the power of 3? That's inside the bracket minus 2 and then to the power of 3. And we all know that the answer is a negative number, and a negative number minus 8. Now, what is a to the power of 3? That's just a times a times a, so that's a to the power of 3. Alright. And we still need to multiply this one. So 9a squared times minus a to the power of 3 is minus 72a to the power of 5. So that's how you need to do exercise 73a. Let me just look at the next one. B to the power of 3 multiplying with 3b to the power of 3. Now we will leave the b to the power of 3 because first we're gonna use the power from the product, and that's 3b to the power of 3. Now, what is 3 to the power of 3? That's 3 times 3 times 3, so that's 27. And then b to the power of 3 is just b to the power of 3. Alright, now we need to multiply. In front of the b to the power of 3, there's a number 1. So 1 times 27 is 27. And then b to the power of 3 times b to the power of 3 is b to the power of 6. So that's the answer from exercise B. Exercise C. Inside the brackets, minus 4b to the power of 3 multiplying with minus b to the power of 5. Alright, so first part is minus 4 to the power of 3. So that's minus 4 times minus 4 times minus 4. So that's a negative number, and that's a negative minus 64. Now b to the power of 3 is just b to the power of 3. There you go. So again, you need to do to the power of 3 the minus 4 and even the b. Alright, the next one, so I'm gonna multiply with the number in front of the b, and that's the number minus 1. So what is minus 1 inside the bracket to the power of 5? Yeah, of course, that's minus 1. Yeah, so we already know that it's minus 1. And then b to the power of 5 is b to the power of 5. There you go. You can leave the minus between the minus and the b, but you can leave because we still go on with the exercise, and then later you need to simplify, of course. Because minus 64 times minus 1 is a positive number 64, and then b to the power of 3 times b to the power of 8 is 5 is b to the power of 8. There you go, and that's exercise C. Then exercise D. Inside the brackets minus 2a to the power of 6 multiplying with inside the brackets 5ab to the power of 2. Alright, so let me just look at the to the power of 6. we need to do the minus 2 to the power of 6 and the a to the power of 6. So minus 2 to the power of 6 is a positive number, and that's 64. And then a to the power of 6 is just a to the power of 6. Right, the next part we need to multiplying with 5 squared. So that's part number 1, and that's 25. And even a squared and even b squared. So it is 25 a squared b squared. So let me just focus at that last part, because what does it mean? You do 5ab squared, that's 5ab times 5, oh, that's a 5, ab. So 5 times 5 is 25, a times a is a squared, and b times b is b squared. So the answer here is 25a squared b squared. Alright, now 64 times 25 is 1600. Then a to the power of 6 times a squared is a to the power of 8. And we only have one b squared, so b squared. So this is the answer from exercise D. Exercise E. Inside the brackets 3xy to the power of 4 multiplying with xy squared. So the difference between the first part and the last part is that the 4 belongs to the whole term inside your bracket. And if we look at the 2, it belongs only to the y. Yeah, so not to the x, because xy is not inside the bracket. Alright, so 3 to the power of 4 is 81. X to the power of 4 is x to the power of 4. And then y to the power of 4 is just y to the power of 4. So, the next one, we just leave it at xy squared, because we do not need to multiplying out a bracket or something like that. Alright, so 81, yeah, times 1 is just 81. X to the power of 4 times x is x to the power of 5. And then y to the power of 4 times y squared is y to the power of 6. So that's the answer from E. Then the last one, exercise F. Inside the brackets minus 2d to the power of 3 times minus 3 and then d to the power of 4. Here you will find exactly the same with exercise E, that minus 2d is inside the bracket, but minus 3d isn't inside the bracket. So the to the power of 4 belongs only to the d. So minus 2 to the power of 3 is a negative 8, and then d to the power of 3, and then multiplying with minus 3d to the power of 4. Minus 8 times minus 3 is 24, and then d to the power of 3 times d to the power of 4 is d to the power of 7. And those are the exercises from exercise 73 on page number 122.